Okay, hi everybody. This is me. I'm Sarah Elise, and I live in Toronto, and I'm an astrologer. This is a newsletter for my community. It is October the 1st, Thursday. I am really cutting it to the edge today, writing this newsletter at the very last moment. Our full moon comes in today at 5 p.m. But I felt called to leave this message because the energy is so incredibly powerful and strong today, and I just wanted to leave you with my perspective of it because it can be a little complicated. This confusing energy today, it's really something. It's not an easy day. It's not like one of these full moons where you just like fucking party, you're just like letting it go, and you're like, woo! I mean, you can track that. You can track that. It's there. It's there. It's there. It's there. It's fire. It's an Aries full moon, but there's something else going on today, right? We have Chiron conjunct the full moon, and Chiron. I want to talk about this archetype with you because it's powerful, but it's misunderstood, okay? And it's difficult. It's not an easy archetype. Chiron is known as the bridge between the lower and the higher self. We call it the rainbow bridge, otherwise known as the Antakarana in Sanskrit. We all have a higher self. We all have a lower self. We all have a whole self. There's no separation. It's an illusion, the separation. Nevertheless, part of what seems to work in our favor in this reality is the fact that we have free will and we have choice. And we get to choose what we align with and who we want to be within the structure that we're given. We get to choose. We have sovereignty. The lower self is the part of us that tends to be a little bit more challenging. It tends to be a little bit more egotistical. It wants, it ruts, it struts. Rah! It likes itself a lot. It has drama and trauma and wishes, and that's fine. It's great. All of this self is beautiful. The higher self is this attunement to something greater within us that is more, well, just more peaceful, more loving, more benevolent, more kind, more compassionate. All of the good things that we all seem to strive for and have done so on our planet for thousands and thousands of years. Because it's part of what we are, right? We are half starseed and we are half human. Or we are half animal man and we are half spirit man. And these halves, these parts of us, meet here in the heart. They meet in our heart. How do we bring these two things together? Because the animal man and the spirit man and the animal man are very naturally separate. They're very naturally polarized, and most of us go back and forth between these two, and we get, knocked up and down. We get knocked back and forth, right? Well, when we bring them together, we unify our will, and we unify it in the heart, and we fuse the two so that the animal man goes into a state of quiescence, and the spirit man comes in and holds the animal man with love, and the two become partners in crime, right? And there's an alignment that happens, and the divine line turns on, and the whole structure and the whole system becomes more in attunement, or more in alignment with higher good, higher will, higher service. It's not higher in the sense of like someone else's will or God's will. It's like, it's our will. It's our will. It's just that we have attuned it to a more refined state so that when we express it into the world, it comes from love. Okay? And that's it. And I feel like, part of what's happening today with this new moon in Aries, conjunct Chiron at approximately 9 degrees, opposite the sun in Libra, and all square, forming sort of a T-square, in a sense, to our Capricorn stellium. What's happening today is that we are being asked to face into our divine line, into ourself, okay? The light is shining upon the self. Aries full moon, the self, primal self. But what we are asking ourselves to see, what is the light that is illuminating us? We are asking us to see our highest potential and our deepest pain, and how these two things are actually together. They are one. They are the same thing. They are combined. We can combine our highest potential with our deepest pain. They come together as one. And that is how we build the bridge called the Antakarana. And that is the meaning of Chiron. Astrologers call Chiron the wounded healer, or the wound that doesn't heal. And like then that's all they say about it. There's no explanation. They're like, that's it. Have that information. Go play. I'm like, wait a second. Let's look at it a little bit more carefully, because what is the purpose of the wound? We all have a wound inside of us that is like our deepest shame, or our deepest agony, or our deepest conflict. The place where our ego wants to hold on. It wants something so bad and it can't have it, you know? It's like, God, I want it, I can't have it, I can't have it, I can't have it, I can't have it. That's the lower will trying to find the higher will. I want it, I can't find it, I can't find it. I'm in so much pain. And it's the pain that drives the higher will down, that creates a magnet so that the higher will can merge with the lower will and be drawn down into the organism, okay? Chiron is how the higher self merges with the lower self and is drawn down into the organism. This came to me in a really beautiful, blessed vision when I was having Uranus conjunct my Chiron in 2018. I got the whole, or 2017, sorry. I got the whole realization that the pain of Chiron, the wound of Chiron, is actually the thing that draws our higher self down into our body. Because the lower self has to be humbled to the higher self. It has to let go. It's the analogy that I always see when I do this meditation or when I work with Chiron. I get this, like, it's like there's this cross that appears here, and I get the image of Christ on the cross and the resurrection, and how that, you know, the symbol of Christ, the mortal man had to die on the cross in the most brutal way. All of his sins had to die. All of the pain, he had to completely face all the pain before he could be resurrected into a holier form, or into a higher state, right? Till the higher self could merge with the lower self, until the higher self could be in the body, in the form. I suppose in some way the Buddha did the same thing, right? In his deepest meditation, when he faced all of the demons, and faced all the darkness, and faced all the shadow, and faced all the longing, and faced all the lusting, and faced the entire human consciousness, all of the possibility, faced it, all of the desires, and just accepted all of it, right? And died to that, and was then resurrected into higher form. So what I want to say to you today, because this is very esoteric, we have a full moon conjunct Chiron. There is pain in us today. There is pain. There is shame. There is fight. There is struggle. There is strife. There is passion. There is desire. There is wanting. But there is in that a sense of coming in and embracing. Like there's like this deep humbling that is being asked of us today. Like a connection with your source, a connection with the part of you that needs, the part of you that wants, the part of you that longs, the part of you that can't get, the part of you that needs, but what does it get? Nothing, you know? It's like that unsatiated thirst, or that hunger within, that painful place. Don't run from it. Hold it. Hold it. Be with it. Give it to God. Let it go. Let it be, right? Let it draw you down into deeper and deeper and deeper states of goodness, of power, of connection, of strength, of courage, of bravery. Because the more you can be in yourself, the more you can let go into yourself and into your greater potential without dramatizing and creating a story and projecting. It really isn't about anybody else but you today. This is the preparation that we need. This is like we are creating our army. We are creating all the generals. We are accumulating the troops, right? Because we're all being called to contribute and to get up off our chairs and to stand up in society and to be someone we need to be in order to fulfill some kind of global destiny. We all need to wake up. Like it's a shit show out there. We need all the strength we can find. We need all the humility we can find. We need all the true alignment that we can find so that we can be strong and authentic and discerning and co-creative and brave and powerful and mighty. But not because we are using our strength in reaction or in woundedness, but because we are using it in humility. So that's what I believe this full moon is asking me. I hope this resonates with you, or that you feel this in some remote way. I know I tend to be sometimes a little bit out there, but this is how I'm feeling it. I'm feeling that there is a pulling in, there is an acknowledgement and a respect of the deep self, of the sacredness of that. There is a wounding, there is a desire to just like feel that wounding and know it is good, and know it is mine, and know it is mine, right? It's okay. I can be. I don't have to be afraid of my pain, right? I can be. It's good. It's healthy. It's strong. Whew. All right, let's let that go. That's like one dimension of what I'm tracking today, and you know, and there's more. Let's talk for a little bit. I mean, I like to look at things in terms of the greater and the bigger meta picture that's going on collectively. But I guess we can also have a little bit of a conversation about what this might be looking like personally, right? Depending on the place in your chart that Aries is found, because our new moon is, or our full moon is in Aries, and we have Mars retrograde in Aries, and we have Chiron in Aries. Aries is a hot spot right now for all of us. So if you want to do an interesting exercise, find the house that Aries is in your chart. Okay, go to astro.com and cast it. And ask yourself some questions about what the meaning of that house is, that position in the chart. This is where you're being called to assert yourself, to find the sacred fire within you that is your primal need to be, okay? This is where you are finding that calling, where you're finding your assertiveness, your self-expression. Then look 90 degrees over to the right to where all those Capricorn planets are hanging out in your chart, right? And that's the house that Capricorn, the Capricorn conjunction has been happening. All the transformation of 2020 has been happening in that realm. And then you will see what part of you are taking responsibility for, or what part of you are asserting yourself, and what part of you are opening up and transforming, and how these two things may or may not be cooperating, but how they all need to happen simultaneously, okay? They can't one without the other be. We need to bring authentic self into the places that we are transforming and rebuilding. They have to happen together. We have to heal and be ourself, and we have to bring that self into the structural reform that is going on. So I know we talked a little bit about this 2 weeks ago, so I'm just affirming that this is the day, you know, this is the day to declare. This is a celebration. This is the day to really see what is standing in your way between you and that self. Is there anything? Can you be it? Can you stand in it? Can you find it and feel it? Okay, I'm going to let that go right now. I'm going to stop. I'm going to end. I hope this was useful. There's some other stuff going on astrologically, like all of our beautiful Capricorn planets are about to all be direct in the next couple days. Everything's going to start moving forward and moving ahead in the next couple months. A lot of action and a lot of change. So stand with me, you stalwart soldiers. Stand in your highest good, in your highest potential. Let's do this work together, and let's do it from the right place so that we create a better future for us. Thank you.